welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, India's only daily television platform for small businesses. We bring you the right information to empower you, the SME entrepreneur. Tonight on this special show, Broadcast1 presents Disruptors. We're bringing you two conversations. First up is with CSS Corp. On the other side of a break, Prudent Corporate Advisory Services in focus. Widely recognized as a disruptor in the IT industry, CSS Corp enables businesses to anticipate and face disruptions in business through their offerings of technology, digital, as well as services. I'm being joined, in fact, by Manish Tandon. He's the CEO of the company. Manish, good having you joining us here on the show.
Thank you for having me, Sunanda.
Manish, my first question to you is, talking really about the journey that you've had at CSS Corp. You've been in the business for over 2 decades now. What's that been like? Let's kick this interview off by talking really about the history of CSS Corp.
A great question to start off with, because I think we are in a renewal phase at CSS Corp. We started this journey 2 decades back. But last 3 years, we have transformed ourselves into a new age services company. Now, what that means is that we are looking at technology as a disruptor and bringing in newer technologies into day-to-day tasks for our clients. What we have done is try to bring in automation, AI, machine learning, analytics, everything to day-to-day tasks like simple stuff like customer experience management. How do we use these things to enhance the technology and the experience that our customers are having?
You are present as far as the entire life cycle really of IT services is concerned for small businesses. Just brief us about that.
We want to work where our customers are working with their end customers, be it internal customers or external customers. So if you look at our entire gamut of service offerings, it is geared towards that interface between our customer and their customer, which means it's a relatively intense, high-touch kind of a service that we provide. And hence we provide it with a lot of transparency.
I understand 90% of your business on outcome projects is from the US. How have you managed to gain that edge? What has helped you really in that journey? What insights can you provide our viewers really, on your model, on your strategy, and how that's working for you?
So interestingly, we are one of the few companies who can claim to have operations and centers in 5 continents, right from Asia, Europe, Africa, North America, and South America. And so as far as servicing our clients is concerned, we have a truly global presence. As far as our focus is concerned, again, I would reiterate that our focus is more on technology, media, and telecom kind of companies, and the market for these sort of companies is in the US. Although we do work with customers in Europe also, but they mostly come to us through referrals.
When we're talking technology, we're talking of something that is changing as we speak. So for something which is so dynamic, how does one really invest into that space? How do you ensure that you're constantly investing in this space and ensuring that you're staying at the cutting edge when it comes to investments in the tech space?
What we have done is what I call frugal innovation. What it means is that I have created these sort of replicated this 2 guys in a garage model. I have one of the few companies of my size which has 4 chief scientists and their teams who exclusively focus on building newer components that can help our clients, looking at clients' problems from a technology lens and accelerating the outcomes for our clients.
While it's definitely hard to really predict perhaps what could be some of the trends, is there something that you can tell our viewers since you've got your ear so closely to the ground in terms of what are the emerging trends as far as the IT space is concerned, as far as the specific niche that you are in?
I think, and the big thing that is happening is 5G, all right? And, without the telecom infrastructure and without the speed, essentially if you look at technology evolution, it is driven by two things: the speed of the networks and the speed of the processing power on a chip. And both of these have been increasing very, very rapidly. And with 5G, we will see a quantum jump in the network speeds. And hence, the use cases that will be implemented using 5G will be very, very different from what we have seen till now. So for example, if driverless car has to be a reality, I don't think it can work at scale without 5G, for example. Now, what are we doing from that perspective? We have incubated a geographical information systems unit, which does some cutting edge work using maps, LIDAR, radar, satellite imagery, etc. Because we believe that as more and more data gets digitized and as more processing power becomes available and faster networks become available, we will see much more investment in geolocation. What is really important in today's world is the ability to react quickly, demonstrate agility, not just in execution, but right from conceptualization to commissioning. So for example, in the good old days, we used to prepare large Word document proposals. Then we used to do some PowerPoints. Then today, my proposal presentation to the client is a POC and a video, which says, this is what we think you need, and this is what you are going to get, and this is what is going to happen. So I think when agility is important, having a smaller size is much more important than being a large monolith where the turning radius is a few miles instead of a few centimeters.
Automation, no matter which industry it is, has become very crucial, is becoming more and more important for all industries to really look at automation. How much of automation are you seeing really happening in that space?
I think, first of all, automation has always been around. Automation is not something that has started happening this decade. Right from the invention of the wheel to the invention of basic tools, instruments, hunting weapons, it was all about automation. The only thing that has changed is that now, while previously automation was focused more on reducing physical labor, with AI, ML, and so on, it's moved away from just physical labor to more of mental work. And that is why there's a lot of hue and cry about automation and job loss and so on. Again, just because phone was invented doesn't mean that banking went away. So similarly, just because internet happened doesn't mean that banking went away, right? It was incorporated as a channel. The banking workforce has expanded over the years. Newer products have come, newer approaches have come, and the same thing will happen with automation. And I think I would look at automation not as a threat, but as an enablement or as an amplification of human potential.
Okay, my last question, Manish, before we let you go, what's next in the pipeline for you?
I think being in the services sector, I would say next is always thinking about where my customers will be next and will I be able to help them navigate their journey or not. I think as a services company, technology-led services company, I would say that is what the desire is, that CSS should be able to lead some of these journeys of our clients and really help them make those journeys shorter, smoother, and faster.
All right, Manish, that's all the time we have. Thanks so much for your time here today on the show.
Thank you, Sunanda.
Let's slip into a short break. We'll continue this focus on India's biggest disruptors on the other side with this conversation with Prudent Advisory Services. Do stay tuned. By providing the right advice, whether it is personal or corporate investments, Prudent Corporate Advisory Services has managed to carve a niche for itself in the wealth management space. I caught up with its management in Ahmedabad earlier to understand what makes them a disruptor in the space and how they've managed to carve that name for themselves in such a short span of time. Listen.
Today, Prudent offers its services to more than 6.5 lakh investors through more than 14,000 IFAs. Prudent is headquartered at Ahmedabad and operates through 108 branches across 19 states in India and has a young and vibrant team of 950 plus employees.
Sanjay, great having you here on the show to really talk about the initial days of Prudent and what what the future is looking like for you. You're almost 20 years old, starting in the year 2000, and you've seen several milestones, but let's start with the initial days. Very briefly tell our viewers about, the journey really behind starting of Prudent.
Thank you very much, Sunanda, to have us on this show. Let me start with the journey which I started in 2000. So basically, I'm a chartered accountant by profession and I was working with an industry, but there was a passion of doing something which has been loved by me. So mutual fund industry has been very, very close to my heart because it's an industry where a lot of intellect has been involved, and hence I always liked working with the industry. So when in 2000 I thought of starting my own profession, I chose this industry apart from being a practicing chartered accountant. But when I started, 2000 was having their own issues also because there has been a recency of .com crash which has happened, ICE stocks which has came for a meltdown, Ketan Parekh scam has been unearthed. So I've been also trying to settle. So I think first 2-3 years has been very, very tough. But by 2003 we reached an AUM of 100 crore. That was the first milestone. And I can tell you when we reached 100 crore, equity was only 7 crore. So people were not ready to invest in equity as an asset class. But with 100 crore, we opened first branch outside the Ahmedabad in Baroda. That has been where the journey has actually started taking off.
And one definite highlight has been you hitting the 20,000 crore AUM mark. Congratulations on that.
Thank you, Sunanda.
So what possibly has really helped you achieve that landmark?
So I can tell you 20,000 crore has been definitely a big, big sense of achievement of Prudent which has achieved over a period of last 18 years. If I put you in the perspective of where we stand in the industry, so today in terms of retail number of transactions, we are 4th largest. In case of equity, we are 6th largest. And in case of total assets under management, we are fortunately part of top 10 asset managers of India. And if I want to credit this entire achievement, then let me tell you from a point of 4 P's.
Sure.
So first P would be my people, my team. Second important point I can tell you would be from the point of processes. So if you look at my core, say the vision and mission statement of the organization, we wanted to be the most preferred wealth manager of India for masses. Third important point would be the partner network. Today we have almost about 14,000 partners and they are the key for our success. And fourth and most important thing is the Pro IT, which is the backbone for us. And we have been very, very conscious of investing into technology from day one.
Okay, fair enough. We've been talking about your milestones, and one definite landmark for you has been the investment that you've received from TA Associates. Why perhaps was that necessary? And if you can talk about what that experience has been like and how that has really been an innovation and disruption in your industry in terms of raising funds from someone like a TA Associates.
Prudent has been started by me as an individual, and from a family driven organization, promoter driven organization, you want to make it a more professional organization. So with TA coming in, we got independent directors, they are also on the board. We got Deloitte as an auditor. So now we are becoming very, very professional from the point of view of organization. Second most important thing is that we are a part of cyclical industry. Whenever there is a downturn which comes, that downturn might last for a pretty longer period of time. And today, I'm not a single guy who is handling the business. With us, there are 1,000 employees, 14,000 IFAs who are associated. So in case of a beer time, if the beer time lasts for a longer period of time, you need financial strength. And TA kind of a player will always give you a lot of financial muscles.
Okay, so even as we're talking about what the journey so far has been like for you, my last question is to do a little bit of crystal ball gazing and to say, both in the short term as well as the long term, both for yourself as well as for the industry, both for the company as well as for the industry, what perhaps is the growth trajectory looking like? What next for you?
So I think it's an important question. If I look at growth of an industry, let me look at from a top-down approach. So let us look at how the country looks at, first of all. So first, I look at from a 3C. So let us look at the country per se. And I feel that country is poised for, India is poised for a serious growth over a period of time. I think India is going to be the world's growth engine. So serious growth of next 5 years, 10 years, something which is very, very visible. So country looks for a good growth. There is no doubt about that. Second would be the category. So within the country, when the financialization is taking place, what is the positioning of the mutual fund as an industry? And I feel over a period of time, after the financialization, investors' options are getting, I think, coming down very, very drastically. And now within that category, if you look at C, that means Prudent as a company. So Prudent as a company, I can tell you, because of a lot of changes which is happening, for us to sustain and grow phenomenally as a company, you need to have support from 3 pillars. One would be the manufacturers whose product you are selling. Second would be the IFA partners who are associated with us, and the comfort of client who are working with us.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great to have you here on the show, and we've got a big picture in terms of Prudent and really the work that is happening and some of the milestones you've achieved. One thing I definitely do want to talk about is how closely you work with IFAs and how the IFAs really are your distribution strength. If you can run us through that.
So today I would say that we are working with close to 14,000 plus IFAs. We provide them various tools to increase their business. Now I would segregate all the facilities what we provide to them in 5 categories. One is a client acquisition. Second is a client servicing. Third, I would say is that how they can increase the productivity.
Sure.
Fourth is the branding, and fifth is the research. Now these are the 5 main things which what we provide help them grow their business. Now let me cover the client acquisition part. Now today the biggest challenge for any IF in the market is how to acquire the clients. Sure. Specifically when you are new and you don't have the brand identity in the market, the biggest challenge is how to acquire the clients. At Prudent, we support them taking or conducting the client meets. Now today they would be knowing so many people in the market, but they don't have the know-how that how to communicate the product or how to communicate the investment revenues to them. So we help them that they can call people, call the investors, and we go and support them in terms of client acquisition. The bigger challenge is today you acquire the client, how to service the clients. Now when you have more number of clients, servicing becomes more challenging. And if you provide better service, then you can grow the client base. Today, I would say that client servicing, we take the complete backend from the advisor, from the IFAs. Another challenge for them is how to increase their productivity. Now today, they do the database, they do the business. We provide the various analytical tools. We analyze their business, we tell them that this is what is need to be done for the clients. Fourth, as I said, is the branding. Now today the biggest challenge for every individual is how to create a brand in the market. We help them create their own website. We provide them their own mobile application, which they can give to their clients so that their clients can log in through their website or through their mobile application. Sure. And the last point, as I said, is the research. Okay. it becomes difficult for an individual person to research so many schemes in the market. At Prudent, we provide them the ready-made infrastructure wherein we research the fund, we shortlist the funds, and we help them. If they want any specific reports or any particular schemes, that also we provide.
Sure. Okay. Let's also very quickly talk about Funds Bazaar, and that's also an innovation that you've launched in the market. What do you want our viewers to know about that?
First of all, the response to Funds Bazaar is very, very good by the advisors and the clients.
Okay.
Almost 2.5 years before we launched Funds Bazaar, and we already closed more than 2 lakh registration amongst Funds Bazaar. Funds Bazaar is a tool wherein we provide, it's a kind of, we call it a B2B2C, wherein we provide this facility to our advisors so that they can take the technology to their clients.
Sure.
Frequent regulatory changes, I would say, is a bigger challenge for us at Prudent. We have to adjust with every regulatory changes. So you can't make a very long-term plan, and you have to keep on adjusting with the regulatory challenge. That is the bigger problem for us. Second is investor choices, investor taste is changing frequently. So we always believe that I think we should not miss on that particular part. So that is why I think we try to understand what our advisors want on a regular basis, and that is how we keep on upgrading our software,
Sure.
our services, and our offering. That is the biggest thing what we try to do at our end.
Okay. My last question to you then is where you're really seeing both Prudent as well as the industry headed, let's say in the next 5 to 10 years, both a short term as well as a slightly long term view.
So we believe currently the mutual fund industry is close to 25 lakh crore.
Okay.
By 2025, we see the industry crossing 90 lakh crore to 100 lakh crore. In that space, if I look at today, Prudent, we are at 20,000 crore. If I look at my number where we would like to be at, by March 20, so I'm saying 1 year down the line, we see ourselves at 30,000 crores of assets. And by March 2022, we would like to cross minimum 50,000 crores of assets growth. To support that, I would say that today we are adding close to 400 IFAs every month. So if I look at my current strength of 40,000 IFAs, that keep on growing month on month. To achieve this goal of Prudent of reaching 50,000 crore by 2022, we are also planning to add around 25 to 30 branches in next 2 years.
Okay. Great having you on the show. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
All right, that's our show tonight. If you have any feedback for us, here's how you get in touch. leadersoftomorrow@timesgroup.com is our email ID. On Twitter, I'm at Sunanda_J. Our official Twitter handle, LOT_ET Now. Leaders of Tomorrow on ET Now is our Facebook page. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.